Bang! We are back. Finally. First stream in 2024. And we're back with a bang. Bang. Literally. As we always do, we tried to come back with a bang every single week. But it's been a lot longer than every week. It's been 3 weeks since we had a card. It feels like it's been a month. Boys, I'm happy to be back, man. I haven't been able to make any money betting on UFC fights. I've been a little bit sad. It seems like we've been away for months and months and months, but we've only been away for 3 weeks, But it always seems like a long time when it comes to the UFC because there's no other MMA organization that has the fights on the level that the UFC does. So in this video, I'm going to break down the UFC Vegas 84 card, and I'm going to tell you my picks and predictions on the upcoming card. I have a lot of bets for this card. I think I'm going to have a lot more bets for this card in the next few days. In the next 24 hours, as soon as full prop odds are released, we ain't like one of those fake tipsters that tip prop odds way before anybody else in the entire market can get them for more than $100. So I'm waiting for full prop odds to be released, the limits to be released, and then I'm going to go crazy, boys. And I'm going to place a lot of bets. There's many bets that I'm targeting. So I already know that some of the lines will hold because I've looked at the lines already. And that means I'm going to have a lot of bets. So I already got loads of bets locked in now, but I'm going to have even more bets soon. So you see, we're coming back with a brand new setup. I kind of had this setup towards the end of the last year, but we're starting this year proper, fresh, nice setup, good microphone. The microphone will even be better next time you hear me. The internet is still an issue. But you know what? It's nothing to do with my internet. So I've actually found out that the issue is the streaming platform that I'm using, which is StreamYard. So I'm sorry if I'm a little bit choppy and I cut off from time to time in this stream. It's not going to happen next stream because it's StreamYard's fault. And if they don't fix it, I'm going to go over to another platform. No problem. So let's get into it, boys. I ain't going to hold you for any longer. Anybody who's here, please let me know. I got my man, MMA line mover, ex-guy, Jewish bettor. Already got my joint rolled up for this one. Let's go. My man saying, need to update your video bitrate in StreamYard. The thing is, I never had this issue ever. So I've never, ever had an issue on StreamYard, right? And then randomly, I just started having an issue. So I don't really know the issue, man. I mean, I'll look into the bitrate thing, but then why would it randomly change for no reason just one day? So I don't know, man. But I'll have a look into it. I am having a look into it. I've determined that it is StreamYard and not actually me. So not actually my internet. All right, boys, I'm not going to do a full card breakdown in this one. I'm going to do a main card breakdown. I'm going to leave the full card breakdown to all of my paying subscribers who have been waiting patiently for this breakdown for many weeks now. And I'm going to put that on my website. So if you want the full card breakdown, I do this every single week for my subscribers. In this video, I'm just going to do a main card breakdown because I want to keep it for them. And also, I don't have much time today. I have many, many things to do after. I'm recording a lot of content. I've also got another stream coming later this week, a brand new stream. I'm teasing that now, but I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is. We'll wait till later. We'll get straight into the card first. So the first fight on the main card is Phil Hawes versus Bruno Ferrera. This is going to be a good fight to come back to. It's not the first fight of the card, but it's the first fight of the main card, and it's definitely been put there for a reason. They want to start the main card off with a bang, and you already know these guys are definitely going to start the main card off with a bang. So we know Phil Hawes, right? We know a lot about Phil Hawes. Very powerful striker, has a lot of power in his hands, has knocked out a good amount of dudes, can definitely hurt you early, seems to actually have decent striking outside of just the early bonk. So he's got good elbows, good knees in the clinch. We saw against Deron Win, the guy butchered him. He was able to show off the full prowess of his striking in that fight. So we know he can throw a lot of cool strikes. He's good in the clinch. He's good from long range. He loves to be in close range for the most part. And then on top of that, he's extremely powerful. We see against Imavov, who's streaking at the moment. I know he fought Sean Strickland, but that was the champion. He also fought Kyle Dorcas. And we saw in those fights that he used his strength, his clinch ability, and his overall physicality to win those fights. So he doesn't just need to knock you out early. He can also win long, grinding fights. His cardio seems good. And on the other hand, we've got Bruno Ferrera, and we just don't know much about this guy. we don't really know much about Bruno Ferrera at this point. You know, like you may think you do, but the guy's obviously got crazy power. They call him the Hulk for a reason. Bruno Ferrera was actually one of my favorite bets of last year. So I bet Bruno Ferrera to win against Gregory Rodriguez. On his debut, he was a massive underdog. You can see it, plus 255. We bet on him at plus 250. And I also bet on him to win via KO in round one at plus 800, plus 1,000 range. And obviously that cashed. He got a brutal knockout in round one. But that was kind of writing on the wall, right? Gregory Rodriguez gets hit a lot in fights. He doesn't go to his grappling as much as he should. And that was kind of an easy spot for me to target. I was actually in spaces with my man Narco and a few other guys. And before the fight, and I was telling all of them, you know, it was live, right? And I was saying, boys, get on Bruno Ferrera now. Get on him now, because you ain't going to have the chance to bet a plus 250 dog that often in MMA. So definitely bet this guy now, because he's going to knock out Gregory Rodriguez. And I don't think that many people jumped on with me, but obviously it happened, right? But we still didn't know much about him. I knew he could knock him out early. I knew Gregory Rodriguez's chin is a massive, massive liability. The guy got knocked out by Jordan Williams. Anytime a power puncher is going up against someone like Gregory Rodriguez, I'm going to take a shot on them. But then in his next fight against Nursultan Ruzabayev, that guy was making his debut and he got knocked out himself in 1 minute. You know, so we don't really know much about the guy because all of his fights finish in the first round. But and before Gregory Rodriguez, he's basically knocking out bums. Now, the guy has very, very heavy hands. I will say that. Like, it's clear to see that he's very heavy hands, but we don't know if he's got good cardio. We don't actually even know if he's got a good chin. Maybe he doesn't have a good chin. Maybe he has a Phil Hawes chin. I mean, I doubt it because it's very hard to have a Phil Hawes chin. But we don't know anything about him. It's funny because we know so much about Phil Hawes and we don't really know anything about Bruno Ferrera. One thing we do know about him is that he's coming in off a bad knockout, right? And that was the first loss of his career. So we always have to think, how is he going to come back from the first loss of his career? I did a video and I put it out for free on Twitter. And I also wrote these things out in article format. And I also gave that out for free last week. And what I said in that was basically my 10 betting principles, 10 MMA betting principles, right? I actually have over 100 betting principles, but that was 10 that I chose. Sort of the top 10. There is a few things that maybe arguably should be in a top 10. But anyway, those were like some of the top 10 most important things that you have to worry about when you're betting on MMA. And one thing I said, I think it was rule 4, may have been a different number. I said that in a game where we make many, many guesses, gambling by nature is guessing, right? That's what we're doing. We're guessing. I'm guessing if Bruno Ferrera is going to beat Phil Hawes on the weekend. I have to guess that, right? That is what gambling is. We make educated guesses, but it's still guessing. So in a game where we have to make so many guesses already, the goal is to make as little guesses as possible. Or if you are going to make more guesses, at least make sure you're being rewarded for taking that risk of making many guesses. So in layman's terms, I like to bet on fights where I don't have to make that many guesses. When I know that Gregory Rodriguez has a bad chin and Bruno Ferrera will throw the kitchen sink at him early and will maximize his win condition. But now coming back off a loss versus Nursultan Ruzabayev, that's another guess I have to make. How is he going to come back off his first loss? Not only a loss, a brutal KO. Maybe his chin is damaged now. Maybe he comes back and gets knocked out brutally in his next fight. Maybe his level is just so low, it was just disguised by the Gregory Rodriguez fight, but now he's going to lose 4 in a row. We don't know his level yet, right? That's a guess you have to make. Another guess is how is he going to come back from losing, not just being knocked out. As I said, maybe his chin's compromised, but how is he going to come back from losing? He may come back very tentative, like Francis Ngannou after his first loss against Stipe Miocic. He came back very tentative. So we don't know how he's going to return from being knocked out brutally in the first round, right? We just don't know because it's never happened to him before. So we have no historic data to go off. And like I said, going off historic data is the best way to cap a fight. So this fight comes down to one thing, really. It's like, how is Bruno Ferrera going to perform coming back off that knockout? It's obviously not easy to pick a winner. Both fighters can easily knock out the other person. I think it's very clear to see that. Both fighters are defensively a little bit flawed. Both fighters hit really hard. Both fighters got knocked out in their last fight brutally in the first round. Who's going to land first? I'm going to go with Phil Hawes. The reason is because I know way more about him. I have to make way less guesses. Now, of course, his chin is terrible, but the rest of the market knows his chin is terrible. It's not like I'm getting an edge over the market by saying Phil Hawes' chin is terrible. It's probably baked into the line. If the market didn't know Phil Hawes had a bad chin, Phil Hawes would be minus 200 easy in this spot. Easy. He's the way better striker overall. He hits just as hard or similar level. I don't think he hits as hard, actually, but I think he hits a similar level. His level of competition is way higher. He's beat way better fighters. He hasn't been knocked out against everyone. He didn't get knocked out against Imavov, who in reality is a terrible, terrible stylistic matchup for him. He didn't get knocked out against Dorcas. They're on win. So his wins are way better. His level of competition is way better. So I'm going to have to pick Phil Hawes in this fight, guys. I'm picking Phil Hawes for the win. I say he gets a first-round knockout against Bruno Ferrera. And the massive amount of hype that was behind Bruno Ferrera after he knocked out Rodriguez, which I cashed on, sort of dies out. Ruzabayev knockout, Phil Hawes knockout, and it dies out. Obviously, Ferrera can touch his chin at any point, but I'm just going to pick Phil Hawes in that one, guys. Shout out to my man Hitman in here. He's saying, shock Dustin and Charles took those fights. Yeah, man. It's about time. You know, it's about time that lightweight got a little bit of a shake-up. Sarukian was meant to get this chance for a long time. But Benoit Saint Denis deserves this opportunity. So shout out to both of those guys. Maybe they got paid a lot. Bruno opened up a dog. Now is a fave. What's up, James? You're a beast. Smash the like. Shout out to my man Mushroom. If you haven't already, smash the like button, guys. Smash the like button. We're going to be doing a lot of streaming this year. I'm back. I got my lucrative mug. We're going to be doing a lot of streaming. I'm not only going to have this stream, but I'm also going to have a stream which is going to be later in the week. I'm going to give you full details on that towards the end of the video. I'm focused on making a lot of money on this card. I've got so many bets, guys. I honestly can't wait, man. It feels like we've been away for months, like I said, so I'm clucking to get back, itching to get back to action. And I didn't plan it that I was going to have so many bets. It's just so happened that a lot of the lines that I've seen are enticing, so I have to play it. I thought that, you know, first fight card of the year, maybe we ease back in a little bit. There's no easing back in for me, guys. This is a full-on, big fight card. A lot of bets on the line, so we'll see how it goes. And that's nothing new, you know. My style is kind of to have a lot of bets. My style is to lay out a lot of money. I have data analysis for 7 years now of what strategy works best for me. And the strategy that works best for me is laying a decent amount of money out, more than a lot of people are comfortable doing. And also my strategy is to have a lot of different spots, which is extremely important when you're laying out a good amount of money. You have to lay them out over multiple spots. Every once in a while, you can have a big or max bet like I've done before. But if you're going to lay out a good amount of money, a good amount of your bankroll each weekend, each event, then you have to make sure that that risk is spread over multiple books. And that's what I do. And that's why my style works so well. And that's why my record is undeniable. You know, you can go and see my record for the last 5 years and you'll see one of the best records in the game. And it's all being done at odds that are widely available, which is completely different to 99% of other people in the game, where they don't put out odds or track odds that are widely available. You know, so my record and 99% of people's records are not the same. It's completely different. I have way higher ROI and way higher units won than is actually my tracked record. And the reason for that is because I actually get better lines than I tip out 90% of the time. And I play same game parlays and other type of things that I can't really track online. I don't put out those numbers specifically because if it's not tracked, everyone's going to call me out for the numbers not being tracked, right? So I just speak about my tracked numbers, which is the way to do it. It's silly talking about numbers that no one can even verify, right? Especially if you're in a position like me, which has a tipster service. But yeah, guys, I don't track any bullshit lines. So for me to have the record I do, tracking the lines I do, it's almost unheard of. But you already know this year is going to be even better, man. It's unheard of, but this year is going to be way, way better. And I know that because I've done the data analysis needed to do that. Every single person watching now should be watching their results every week, should be making a note of their results every week, should be tracking their results not only on betmma.tips, but also on a spreadsheet. So you can edit it if you make any mistakes, like I do on betmma.tips quite often. You can edit it yourself. You don't have to message someone, or you don't have to maybe forget about it and then you can't edit it because it's post-fight or whatnot. And you can customize it way better. You can do flat staking approaches. You can do varied staking approaches. You can do fractional Kellys. You can mix and match the data as much as you need in order to find the best strategy for you. That's why I've been so successful, because I'm able to look back at the 5 years, 7 years worth of data and kind of adjust it a little bit and find out what's going to work for me. So everybody listening needs to be doing that as well. If you're not, you're leaving tons of money on the table. That's down to you. So the next fight on the card is Ricky Simone versus Mario Bautista. What a great fight. What a banger of a fight. This is a good fight, man. Both fighters are dangerous. And I know Ricky Simone, he's got a good amount of decisions and stuff, but we saw what he did to Jack Shaw, and he can put a pace on you. He can most certainly put a pace on you, and he can definitely finish you if you're not really all there mentally. Just in general, he's a dangerous fighter to face because oftentimes you're going to lose against him. So yeah, maybe he doesn't get a finish and stuff, but you're going to lose. And that's not really ideal. You don't really want to be going up against someone who you're not going to win against, obviously, right? So yeah, maybe Simone's not dangerous in terms of the submission or knockout equity, but he's very dangerous in terms of the win equity. And that's really the only danger you want to avoid. Who cares about knockout or submissions? If you're going to lose the fight, you're going to lose the fight. So I like Simone in this spot. I think that he's going to get the takedowns on Mario Bautista. Now, I don't think he's going to be able to hold Mario Bautista down on the floor, because Mario Bautista, Simone doesn't hold that many people down anyway at all. He's kind of like a shoot again type fighter. Wrestle, grind you up against the cage, take you down, you get back up to your feet, chain wrestle again. He's not the type of fighter who's just going there, taking you down and dominating from top position like Rakhmonov or Khabib used to do. He ain't that type of fighter. So I don't really expect him to just ground Mario Bautista for 15 minutes. But I don't think he needs to win the fight. I think he can shoot multiple times. Now, Mario Bautista does good work in the clinch, and he'd be advisable here to try and reverse in the clinch, kick Simone, stay on the outside, and kind of win a decision that way. Or obviously catch Simone coming in with something big, because Simone doesn't have a great chin. I've never fought yet. It's funny because certain fights he takes big shots, but he gets wobbled a lot, and I don't like the way he reacts to shots that often. He's more like a 50-50 type chin guy. I feel like sometimes he comes into fights and his chin ain't great. Sometimes he comes in with a great chin, like he takes front kicks to the face and that. But basically, he's definitely prone to being hurt and being wobbled and being dropped. That's a fact, right? Even though he has a good chin or he takes a lot of shots, he's still prone to being wobbled. And we know Bautista's quite solid. And I think Bautista's a good striker, and I think he's probably the better striker in this fight. So he could win it if he defends the takedowns. I just don't think he's able to defend the takedowns. He got taken down by Damon Blackshear 4 separate times. And yes, he's shown good get-up ability there, but that's what I'm saying. Ricky Simone is not the type of fighter where you need to have great get-up ability, because he doesn't really hold people down anyway. That's not really how he wins fights. He mainly wins by just shooting a lot. So to beat Ricky Simone, it's better if you can stop the takedown versus you got good get-up ability. Sometimes it's better to fight a wrestler if you've got really great get-up ability, especially one who gets tired and stuff, because you're just going to tire him out. But sometimes it's better to fight a wrestler if you've got great takedown defense. And that's Ricky Simone here. I feel like if you could choose between great takedown defense and great get-up ability, against Ricky Simone, you would use great takedown defense. But if he was fighting someone like, who goes for takedowns but gasses out? Loads of people do, right? Some of the names are escaping me right now, but I'm sure someone can help me watching. Somebody who shoots takedowns a lot but gets gassed out. Amir Khani, right? Amir Khani. I honestly think that if you have really, really good get-ups against Amir Khani and maybe like can defend the back take and stuff, someone's saying Brunson as well. Yeah, exactly. If you have really good get-ups against Brunson, it's probably better than having great takedown defense, because Brunson's going to keep shooting. Like if you have great takedown defense, Brunson or Amir Khan might shoot once or twice and kind of just chill and just stop because they don't really want to get tired out. But if they keep taking you down, they're going to be more inclined to shoot. Like Dricus du Plessis, you know, you get back up to his feet. Brunson can't hold him down. So then he's just going to finish him. So some fighters, it's better to have obviously it's better to have both. But some fighters, it's actually better to have get-up ability than takedown defense, which is kind of crazy, right? But that is the case. But I think Ricky Simone, he doesn't need to take you down and just hold you down for minutes and minutes to win the fight. So I think Ricky Simone's going to win the fight. I think he's going to win a decision. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's close, especially early. But I think round 2, round 3, Simone should start to get to him because I think that he will be the one dictating where the fight goes. So we'll see how it plays out. But I like Simone in that spot. The next fight is Jim Miller versus Gabriel Benitez. This is a weird fight because Jim Miller's 40 years old. He's 5 years older than his opponent. But I kind of feel like Gabriel Benitez might be more washed. And it's not like Gabriel Benitez has shown like terrible performances. I mean, against Billy Quarantillo, that's a tough fight for anyone, right? And then against, who else did he fight? Charlie Ontiveros. I mean, it was a first-round finish. I mean, it's obvious that he was going to finish. I actually played Benitez TKO in that spot. It was like very, very predictable outcome. Charlie Ontiveros, obviously nowhere near UFC level. But, I mean, this fight comes down to who's got more grit and determination, in my opinion. Now, I know that Benitez could maybe knock out Miller early, but Miller can also knock Benitez out early. I feel like Miller's a better boxer, but Benitez is a way better kicker. And Miller is the type of fighter that he can get caught on the end of kicks at times. I honestly think this is a fight of determination, grit, and will. And I like Jim Miller in that spot. I think if he doesn't get finished, I think that he's going to push through a little bit more than Benitez. I think he's going to do a little bit more than Benitez. I think he can make the fight a little bit rougher than Benitez likes to have it. Obviously, he's got a massive grappling advantage if he gets the fight to the ground. I could see him getting a guillotine here, like up against the cage. Some like just jumps on him or something, some dodgy guillotine. Kind of how he did to Donald Cerrone. I mean, it's not like he took him down and, you know, grappled him and transition, set up the guillotine and jumped on a ghillie. You know, Jim Miller's way more opportunistic than that. I kind of feel like he could submit Mowgli here. And I also feel like he could knock him out. And I kind of feel like he could win a decision. The thing is, Jim Miller gasses in every fight, but Gabriel Benitez, I don't think he has great cardio either. And I just trust the durability and pace and pressure of Jim Miller a little bit more than Benitez in this spot. So I think he's going to take him out, man. I think Jim Miller's going to finish Gabriel Benitez in this fight. I do give some finishing upside to Mowgli, or, you know, if he damages Miller early, it could be like a low-paced fight, kind of like the Morales Benitez fight. Oh, that wasn't low-paced at all. That was an absolute banger. Not that fight, but that was kind of an outside kickboxing fight. I guess what I'm trying to say is I could kind of see an outside kickboxing fight that's lower paced than Mowgli versus Morales. If Benitez is able to damage the legs of Jim Miller early, which he's going to be ripping those kicks mainly to the body, but most certainly to the calf as well. I mean, he does a lot of damage early, man. Benitez puts up so much damage early that he could just compromise Jim, and then 15 minutes fights is kind of like Jim's just stuck on the outside getting teed off on a little bit. That's possible. And then the other possibility for Mowgli is like an early knockout. But I think outside of that, Jim Miller's got more ways to win. I think he's got, I mean, he came back really well in the third round against Alexander Hernandez. That was a very close fight, man. Hernandez was definitely teeing off on him at moments, but Jim Miller had a lot of great moments in that fight. And Alexander Hernandez, he's still kind of a, I'm not going to say young lion, but the guy's still in his prime. The guy's still there. That was a good performance by Jim Miller, I think, man. I think that was a really good performance by Jim Miller. Maybe Benitez would have a similar performance just because Alexander Hernandez's style. But Jim Miller he bite down on the mouthpiece and he just took it to Alexander Hernandez. I feel like if we get the Jim Miller that we saw against Hernandez in the Benitez fight, there's only going to be one winner. I don't trust Benitez to stay solid in the octagon and just keep pushing when he needs to push. I trust Jim Miller to do that, tired or not. And I think they're both going to gas out. So, yeah, that's it, guys. I think Jim Miller's going to win the fight. Obviously, there's upside for Mowgli there as well, like I've mentioned. The next fight in the co-main event, Matheus Nicolau versus Manel Kape. First of all, guys, let me know if I'm chopping. Let me know if the audio is choppy, and 2, the video is choppy. I think it is because I'm getting some notifications from StreamYard right now. And as I said, I'm going to fix that out for next stream. But I just want to know if you're catching my audio. I think the audio will be perfect. But if I'm stuttering and muttering and pausing and freezing on the video, because it's quite annoying. Annoying for me and you. Twitch is saying Mac 1 is the greatest round 1 fighter of all time. Yeah, man, the guy's a beast in round 1. Fuba's saying, what's good, James? Driving right now, but we'll catch up later. Nice to have you in here, bro. Gerardo's saying, what's up, James? What's up, brother? Oden is saying, what do you think about the over 2.5 on Walker versus Ankalaev? I think pretty good value there. I'll get onto that when I get onto the main event, bro. I'll try and remember it. Maybe add it in the chat section again, but I'll try and remember. Sounds good, looks good. Good stuff, Mushroom. If you're here, guys, like, please, because it helps with the algorithm. But we're going to smash the algorithm this year anyway, boys. We've got a lot of content coming. So we're going to make a lot of money together this year. Last year, I won so much money betting on MMA. It's insane the amount of money I won. And this year's going to be no less. I'm actually going to go more aggressive and trying to go more over the top this year in terms of profit. Obviously, right? Obviously, I want to win more money than I did last year. But I've done the data analysis. I'm locked in more. I'm focused more. I've set out my schedule. When you're a full-time professional gambler, call it what you want. They're both the exact same thing. Call it what you will. You have to set up your schedule and your mentality more than anything else. It's not just about picking an MMA fight. It's about controlling mentality and also being focused. And you can't be focused if your schedule is not super set. So my schedule for this year is super set. Obviously, I do like to travel. I'm never going to stop that. I could die one day. I'm not just going to randomly stop traveling. But you go through phases in life. And the phase I'm in right now is a massively focused phase. Extremely focused. I'm focused for the next 6 months minimum. Yeah, I'm going to have some good times between that. You know that already, of course. But the focus that I'm displaying over the last 3 weeks and for the next 6 months is going to be the most focused I've ever been in my entire career. In any vocation, ever. In any fights I've had, martial arts, any contests, any training camps, in my entire gambling career, any time that I've ever tried to create a project business-wise, I'm going to be the most focused I am for the next 6 months. So I know my results are going to go along with it. I can't wait, man. I'm excited. Matheus Nicolau versus Manel Kape. This is a banger. This is most certainly a banger. They fought last time, so this is a rematch, right? They fought, and after their fight, they both went on a streak. So Matheus Nicolau won their last fight. I believe it was by split decision. It was a very, very close fight. I did score it for Matheus Nicolau. It only came down to round 3, right? So I watched this fight again the other day. I feel like I watched this fight so many times, but I watched it again the other day, obviously in tape for this fight, of course. It's the #1 fight you should watch, obviously. They've already fought once. Now they're rematching. So we go back and watch their first fight for data. Nicolau won the first round. He shot a couple of takedowns. Got Manel Kape down for a little bit. Manel Kape won the second round and almost finished Nicolau in that round. He dropped him, he hurt him, he wobbled him, call it what you will, and he was on him. For the entire round, he was like stalking him. And it's quite funny because the only bet I had on this fight was Manel Kape for your second round finish. And the reason I did that is because Manel Kape usually takes some time to get going, and his second round is really where he comes on. And if he doesn't finish you in that round, he can kind of take his foot off the gas. And that's actually exactly what happened in that fight. So I read it perfectly, but I didn't cash. So I bet on Manel Kape to win via second round KO. It was a massive price. I think it was a very, very good bet. And that's evident by what happened in that round. He knocked him down, almost finished him, or tried to finish him. It's not like Nicolau was completely hurt or almost finished, but Manel Kape definitely had him on wobbly legs and another day he would have finished him. Another sequence, he would have finished him. And then in the third round, it was very, very close. But Nicolau was just doing a little bit more. He had a little bit more volume. So I think it was a good decision. I think he deserved to win the fight. But it was a 50-50 fight, you know. It was a 50-50 fight. And then they went both on long winning streaks, right? They both won 3 fights in a row. But the fourth fight of either fighter, Manel Kape won his fourth fight. And Matheus Nicolau lost. He got knocked out brutally against Brandon Royval. We know something about Matheus Nicolau, and that is his chin isn't the best, right? His chin doesn't hold up a lot. When he gets hit, he doesn't look great. His reaction to getting cracked isn't all that great. And overall, he's just not the type of fighter that you can trust too much because his chin is a little bit dodgy. I think that Manel Kape finishes the business in this fight. I believe in the line movement. I agree with the line movement. I think Manel Kape is going to finish Matheus Nicolau. I think the fight goes under 2.5 rounds, whereas in the first fight, it went over 2.5 rounds. The fight went to decision. But as I said, that was largely based on Matheus Nicolau surviving that second round. And also Manel Kape just coming into the UFC. That was his second fight in the UFC. He's just getting used to fighting in the UFC at that point. He had lost against Pantoja in his debut. So mentally, he wasn't all there. Manel Kape's a completely different fighter at this point in his career. I think Manel Kape is very, very elite. I think Manel Kape is on the path to become a UFC champion, where I don't think Nicolau is. I think we saw what happened to Nicolau in his last fight, and I think it may rear its ugly head again. I'm going to say Manel Kape finishes Matheus Nicolau. Bang! Boys, we're getting through it. We're getting through it. Now we're at the main event of the evening. Magomed Ankalaev versus Johnny Walker 2. Another rematch. We got a rematch in the co-main and a rematch in the main. I picked Walker in the first fight. Nice, bro. You're going to keep this live stream public? Yes, it is public. That's why you can comment on it. And post live stream, I won't turn it private. I didn't even know you could do that. I think Motta stifles Nolan's record this weekend. Damn, that's a big call, man. Motta hasn't shown me anything in the UFC so far. So if he does that, that will definitely change my opinion on him a lot, because I haven't seen anything from him in the UFC other than that knockout over Van Camp, who I don't trust too much. Mushroom saying, smash the like, leave a comment when it's over. Yes, guys, please smash the like. I'm doing all of this for you for free. I hope you enjoy the content. Please pay me back with a like. Very easy, guys. All right, here we go. Magomed Ankalaev versus Johnny Walker. So this is a good fight because it's light heavyweight and Johnny Walker's a bit of a madman. And usually when he's in fights, he's in good fights. Now, I don't think he's going to be able to show his madman skills off too much in this fight, because I think Ankalaev's going to stifle him for the most part. Ankalaev's a smart fighter. And I know the first fight didn't last for long, but we kind of saw in that fight that Ankalaev, he has the ability to stay calm under the craziness that Johnny brings, because Johnny brung that crazy flying knee type thing and he was able to kind of just keep it under wraps. He was able to stay calm under fire. He was able to take Johnny Walker down. And I'm not going to say dominate, but just control him. He just controlled him for a minute or two there. And then obviously done that dodgy knee thing and the fight went to a no contest. But I think in this fight, he's just going to be able to pick Johnny Walker apart on the feet. And if he doesn't, he's able to take him down. I think Ankalaev can win a decision. I think he can win a knockout. And I think he can win a submission. So I think he can win 3 ways, where I honestly think Johnny Walker can get a knockout or bust. Yeah, maybe like he smashes Ankalaev's leg to pieces, because he does throw leg kicks these days. We've seen that he does that a lot more now, being with John Kavanagh. And we have seen Magomed Ankalaev, and I watched this fight the other day, actually. We have seen him suffer some leg kick injuries, specifically in the Jan Blachowicz fight, right? So yes, I guess he has some leg kick upside here, but Ankalaev's not an idiot, man. I mean, he knows what Johnny Walker's going to do. I think he's going to be able to stifle him. It's light heavyweight. It's minus 500. There's always a risk that your guy can get bonked, can get knocked out. But, man, I think Ankalaev's probably going to finish him. I'm not really confident on if he's going to finish him or get a knockout. Like, I was confident he was going to finish him in the first fight. But seeing that first fight and seeing Johnny be so aggressive and Ankalaev just go to the wrestling, I'm not as sure this time. And obviously, Ankalaev's a bit of a bigger favorite this time as well, so I don't think the lines are going to be as great. I mean, what's the line on Ankalaev finish? It's going to be like even money, guys. I can't play it. It's funny because, like, I probably would play Ankalaev KO if it wasn't for the data that I looked at for the last 8 years and 2023. And I actually did a live stream. And the live stream was basically speaking to my data over the last year and over the last 8 years. And I found that I am actually in negative on only a few bets over my lifetime. There's not many bets that I'm not in positive from, right? There's most of the bets I win. Most bet types I'm in profit from, right? Whether that be straights, favorites, underdogs, parlays, totals, unders, overs, fight to win by decision, fight to win in round one, whatever it is. There's only a few bet types that I'm not in profit in. And one of those is fighter to win inside the distance props. KO, submission inside the distance, all of them, I'm not in profit, right? So maybe I would play Ankalaev KO or something, or maybe Ankalaev sub, just a little sprinkle, if it was last year. But based on the data that I've read, I'm staying off those bets this year unless I'm supremely confident and something stands out massive. And nothing stands out massive for me. So I'm not going to be playing Ankalaev inside the distance, although I do kind of lean that he finishes inside the distance. So I will be making a note of that. I'll be checking the line after this stream, and I'll be making a note of if I would ever play Ankalaev KO, like if it was last year, would I play it? And then what I'll do, and this is a little pro tip for you, this is what you should do as well. If you have any positions or any bet types that you're not in profit on over the long term, stop betting them completely. Unless something massively stands out, you can't avoid it. Stop betting them completely. And then what you need to do is write down every time you want to bet a specific spot that you're not going to bet. And you don't put any money on it, right? Like Ankalaev inside the distance, whatever it is. I might not bet it. I need to look at the odds. But anyway, you don't bet it. You don't put any money on it, but you just make a note of it on a spreadsheet. You write how many units you would put on it. And then after 3 months, after 6 months, you see, and by the way, you should be looking after every bet anyway. But after 6 months, you have a look at it and you determine whether you would have been profitable over those 6 months. If you wasn't profitable, why not? If you was profitable, why? What's changed now versus what you was doing before? Maybe that you're not actually making the bets now. You're way more picky on what bets you make, or you're way more aggressive, right? Because you're not putting actually any real money down. And so you can just take that approach, change it, or keep it the same if you've been winning, and then start to implement it and put real money on. So essentially, we're making fake bets on the positions that we're not very good at. So that's it, boys, man. I think Ankalaev is going to get a finish inside the distance. And I ain't got much more to say. I'm going to be doing a full card breakdown in about 24 hours on my website. So if you want to sign up with me and get all of my official picks and predictions, as well as full card breakdowns and many other things, we've got DGM parlays, we've got long shot prop bets, we've got regional scene bets where we're betting every other organization, LFA this weekend, one championship's going down this weekend, and tons of other content. Then you can sign up to lucrativemmabetting.com, or the link's in the bio. You can support me, sign up with me, and you're going to earn tons of money. It's funny because I think like there's so many products online that you can buy. You probably buy a coffee every day. You probably buy drinks every day, food every day, stuff that you don't necessarily need, right? Obviously you need food, but you don't need the burger, or you don't. My man Mushroom, you don't need the live resin vape. Yeah, I know you want it, but you don't need it. Or maybe you need one, not two, like you always post. Shout out to Mushroom though. But it's funny because I'm thinking there's so many products online, right? But the product that I sell, which is my expertise and my knowledge, actually gets you money back almost instantly. Obviously, we can lose, like we don't win every single bet, but it gets you money back. There's not that many things that you buy that pay you. You buy something that pays you. So that's why I like selling what I sell. I'm very comfortable in it because it actually helps people. Versus if you're selling some bullshit, just don't even help people. Like, you can't really be that comfortable in that, you know? Anyway, getting off into the weeds here, but thanks everybody very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. We're going to be back next week. We're going to be back this week, actually. Mad love, Lou, my guy. Mad love to you as well. Mushroom saying, thanks for the sharp breakdowns as usual, James. You're a goat. Much respect. Respect to you as well, brother. Brandon Van, coming in late to the stream. Appreciate the content as always. What day will I be doing my DGM Parlay show? So I'll tell you right now. What day am I going to be making my DGM Parlay show? So guys, I'm announcing this right now. Every single week, I'm going to be doing a breakdown show right here. So make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications for my YouTube channel so you know when I'm going live. I'm going to be doing a breakdown show every week. There's no more missing weeks. Every single week, I'll see you here. And I want to get a community of guys, positive guys that help each other in the comments, ask me questions. We go back and forth. I want to see the same guys week in, week out. We'll develop a community and we'll make money off the bookies. So that's what I'll be doing every single week. But not only the breakdown show, I have a new show that I'm announcing right now. It's a degenerate parlay show. So every single week, I'm going to be creating degenerate parlays live on stream to try and make money off them, of every single UFC card. Now, I was a bit apprehensive to make this stream. And the reason is because degenerate parlays are not going to get you rich, right? Degenerate parlays are not conducive to massive, massive long-term profit. If you really want to make money from this game, you grind up a bankroll, you increase your bankroll, you increase your unit size. And once your unit size is big enough, then you start making big boy money, right? That's how you do it. But there is utility for long shot parlays. The first utility is mentality. So a lot of people have this gambler itch that they need to scratch. Even me, after betting for 15 years, I still enjoy placing long shot parlays. I still enjoy doing it. It makes me feel good. It scratches the entertainment itch. We're humans, we're not robots. So instead of having no system or no structure to your gambling and then just betting random shit as we feel it, if we actually say, you know what, we are going to bet a couple of long shot parlays for very tiny money, it's going to allow us to sit back, be comfortable, be entertained with the long shots, but not over bet on the long shots. So it's actually very good for mentality. I've found it to be very good for myself over 15 years of gambling. And on top of that, a massive, massive plus and a bonus and utility for them is account longevity. So if you're betting these parlays, your account is going to last longer by default. So it's very, very good for account health and longevity. So I still do them myself. I play degenerate parlays out of my fun bankroll, where I have a separate bankroll, separate bookie account, 2 bookie accounts, where I kind of fuck around and I just play some fun bets and stuff. And guess what happens, guys? Those accounts last for a long time. And you know what? My limits increase on those accounts. And then I can put more money in those accounts when I want to, open up some new fun accounts, which will never get shut down, and start betting big on the shitty accounts that have big limits, because I've been playing it with my fun bankroll for 6 months. So I've just dropped some gold dust jewel of a professional gambler on you. Bang. I've just told you how to create a noob account, a square account, I call it. Now, there's other things that go into it, but I've just basically dropped a massive, massive jewel on you. Because people always asking me, how do you not get limited? How do you stop getting limited? You can't stop, but you can definitely increase the longevity of your account. It's just people are lazy. They don't want to do it. And they're stupid and they don't know how. It's not even stupid. They're stupid. They know how to do it and they just don't do it. They just start betting singles and stuff on the accounts that they want to last long. It's not rocket science, guys. It doesn't work every time. You can make a mistake and then they ban you if you beat line movement too much. And I'm going well into the weeds here, but basically there's utility for degenerate parlays, big utility. And it's a bit of fun, right? We're humans. We could die tomorrow. I'm also an advocate for some entertainment. So I'm going to tell you right now when we're going to do this YouTube live stream. Let me have a look. I've got it on my calendar, boys. So you already know I'm organized this year. I ain't fucking about. Where's my YouTube live stream? Has it disappeared? What the fuck's happened here? That's weird. Oh, no, I got it. Why did it start there? All right, boys. So on Friday at 2 p.m. NZST, I'm going to be doing my degenerate parlays. But Friday for me is Thursday for you. So if you're in America, it's going to be Thursday at 9 p.m. or some shit. I don't know. Go on to Google, find the calendar time conversion, type in New Zealand, Friday, 2 p.m., and find out what time it is for you. It's going to be Thursday at some point. Unless you're in Australia or America, and Australia or New Zealand, then it will be Friday. So Mondays for the American audience will be the live stream where I do the card breakdown, and Thursdays for the American audience will be the live stream where I do the degenerate parlays. And we'll make someone there, and that'll be a fun stream. We'll go back and forth. I'll speak to you in the comments a little bit more. And that's it, man. So thanks everyone for being here. I'm going to address the chat one time before I go. Dixon's saying the awful main event is going to end in an ugly decision. People will be booing by the third round. I can definitely see it. Like I can see it. That's what everyone on BetMMA.tips does, fake bets. The good thing about MMA.tips is that although they put in fake bets, which a lot of people do, you can kind of verify that by looking over it yourself. But it's definitely not a perfect system. It's the only system we have to truly verify our bets for third party. And there's a little balloon that comes up sometimes if the odds are not seen. But yeah, it's definitely not a perfect system. And you can definitely put fake odds in there. No, Brandon is first name. Van is where he lives. Where's Van? Oh, you live in the van. I thought it was some American state or something, man. You know, I don't know about you Americans. Could be some state called Van or some shit. What's up, bro? What we got? I'm here to see if James have anything on sale on the clearance rack. Nothing, brother. There's nothing for sale, mate. Like, you don't need a sale, man. Sign up to the service, get money back from it, and you can afford everything. You won't need to go to the sale if you sign up to the service. Telling you I'll have 3 or 4 life resin vapes. You already know that. Easy money. Take me for a ride in a Porsche. I don't have a Porsche, bro. I got the Aston Martin, you know. We don't drive shitty Porsches, man. We got the Aston. Dixon, I'm the most positive guy in chat history. Bang. Degenerate parlays now. See, it's getting degenerate. Chat's getting degenerate now. I like it. The more degen, the better. Shout out, my guys. What else we got? All right, that's it, guys. Thanks, everyone, for being here. I'll be back next week, man. Good luck with your bets. No, I won't. I'll be back on Thursday for the Americans and Friday for everyone else. So, yeah, I'll catch you later this week, guys. Good luck.